Hey, I'm Al. You're tuning in to Short Rest, and today we're going to be taking a deep dive into the Echo Knight Fighter subclass. The Echo Knight was officially published in the Explorer's Guide to Wildmount, and in that setting is known as a mysterious and feared frontline warrior of the Kryn dynasty. The Echo Knight has mastered the art of using Dunamis to summon the fading shadows of unrealized timelines to aid them in battle. Surrounded by the echoes of their might, they charge into the fray as a cycling swarm of shadows and strikes. When you take this subclass, you gain the feature Manifest Echo. At 3rd level, you can use a bonus action to magically manifest an echo of yourself in an unoccupied space you can see within 15 feet of you. This echo is a magical, translucent gray image of you that lasts until it is destroyed, until you dismiss it as a bonus action, until you manifest another echo, or until you're incapacitated. Your echo has an AC 14 plus your proficiency bonus, 1 hit point, and immunity to all conditions. If it has to make a saving throw, it uses your saving throw bonus to the roll. It is the same size as you and occupies its space. On your turn, you can mentally command the echo to move up to 30 feet in any direction. No action required. If your echo is ever more than 30 feet of you at the end of your turn, it is destroyed. As a bonus action, you can teleport, magically swapping places with your echo at a cost of 15 feet of your movement, regardless of the distance between the two of you. When you take the attack action on your turn, any attack you make with that action can originate from your space or the echo space. You make the choice for each attack. When a creature that you can see within 5 feet of your echo moves at least 5 feet away from it, you can use your reaction to make an opportunity attack against that creature as if you were in the echo space. Okay, so this ability has a lot to it, and I would argue that it is the main identifier of being an Echo Knight. So let's delve into the pros, the cons, and the controversies surrounding this ability and subclass. First up, being able to summon the echo as a bonus action is definitely appreciated, as it won't impede your combat rotation too much. You can still make use of your damage output as a fighter since you have your action free. It also does not have a resource tied to it, so you will never be caught without your identifying feature, which is always nice to have. The AC being a minimum of 15 and only getting higher from there, eventually setting at a 20, is pretty great as well. Okay, so all this is nice, but what does this actually give you? You can more easily maneuver around the battlefield by being able to teleport with no action, just sacrificing 15 feet of movement. You can also make attacks from 2 different spaces, and you threaten 2 areas for opportunity attacks. These are all wonderful abilities to have for a martially focused character. Something really cool about the Echo is that it makes no specification that the movement has to be on the ground, and you can actually move it vertically into the air, meaning that if you are fighting flying enemies as a melee combatant, you aren't left in the dust and can make weapon attacks provided that they are close enough. This rule quirk was confirmed by Jeremy Crawford on Twitter. So, what is the drawback here? The only real limiting factor is that your echo is fairly flimsy. If a single attack lands on your echo, it's lights out for it, and you have to burn another bonus action. This would normally be okay because of the decent AC, but man oh man, are you going to be hurting in area of effect spells. Even though the echo uses your save, spells like Fireball and Thunderwave are area of effect and are going to eat your echo alive, since they deal damage regardless of if you succeed or not. Now, the controversy. A lot of people ask the question as to whether or not the echo is a creature or not, and therefore if it can be targeted by spells like Hold Person or be used to flank with an ally or even yourself. Luckily, Jeremy Crawford weighed in on this and had this to say. An Echo Knight's echo is an object. It's a translucent, gray image that occupies space. It isn't a creature, and it can be targeted. It's like you're targeting a moving painting or a hologram with substance. So, unfortunately, this means that you can't flank with yourself. However, the upside is that the echo cannot be flanked by 2 creatures either, as it is not a creature, which is required for flanking. The Echo Knight and this feature are a really unique ability, and so questions like this are going to come up all the time. If you find yourself thinking about rolling up an Echo Knight, I definitely recommend something that you check out is the unofficial Echo Knight frequently asked questions page. It is fairly comprehensive and lists official sources when possible. I'll leave a link in the description below. Overall, super solid ability, a very creative and flexible one at that. I give this feature a 5 out of 5. Our next feature is Unleash Incarnation. At 3rd level, you can heighten your Echo's fury. Whenever you take the attack action, you can make one additional melee attack from the Echo's position. You can do this feature a number of times equal to your Constitution modifier, a minimum of once. You regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. This ability is simple, but pretty darn strong. Being able to output more attacks than almost any other class, especially if you have a greatsword or maul in hand, can really go a long way. You'll need to have a pretty high Constitution score to see this regularly, as it is tied to a long rest, but early levels, this ability will drastically increase your damage output in critical moments. I give this feature a 4 out of 5. Our next feature comes at level 7 and is called Echo Avatar. You can temporarily transfer your consciousness to your Echo. As an action, you can see through your Echo's eyes and hear through its ears. During this time, you are deafened and blinded. You can sustain this effect for up to 10 minutes, and you can end it at any time, requiring no action. While your Echo is being used in this way, it can be up to 1,000 feet away from you without being destroyed. Okay, so this ability is really helpful to your exploration utility, especially since by now you are going to be really hurting as a non-spellcaster character. It is a bummer that it is limited to 10 minutes, so you can only do really quick scouting missions. The biggest disappointment here is that you can't attack with your Echo or switch places with your Echo while you are in this reconnaissance mode. This, unfortunately, was also confirmed by Jeremy Crawford when he said on Twitter, "The intent is that you can't do anything with the Echo Knight's Echo while using Echo Avatar, other than scout with it." The text stating that intent is mysteriously missing from the book. We'll fix it in a future printing. Sorry about the confusion. This is a matter of rules as intended versus rules as written at the time of recording, as there is no official errata yet. Regardless, this really hurts the ability, and I would give it a 3 out of 5 as a result, because it is still useful for scouting and setting high above the tree line for navigating for 10 minutes at a time. Before we move on to our next feature, I just wanted to take a moment and say thank you for getting this far into the video. If you gained any value from it this far and you'd like to see more of my content, please consider subscribing or even just liking the video. It helps out the channel a lot. If not, that's totally okay. Thank you for watching anyway. Alright, our next ability is Shadow Martyr. Starting at 10th level, you can make your Echo throw itself in front of an attack directed at another creature that you can see. Before the attack roll is made, you can use your reaction to teleport the Echo to an unoccupied space within 5 feet of the targeted creature. The attack roll that triggered the reaction is instead made against your Echo. Once you use this feature, you can't use it again until you finish a short or long rest. So this is identical to the protection fighting style, but you don't have to be within 5 feet. You just have to see them, which makes it a lot more flexible. The only downside is that it is once per rest, which means you'll have to save it for a pinch. I wish that you could use it more often. I give this feature a 4 out of 5. Very cool and flavorful, but not able to be used enough to really push it over to the edge to be a 5 out of 5. The next feature is Reclaim Potential. By 15th level, you've learned to absorb the fleeting magic of your Echo. When an Echo of yours is destroyed by taking damage, you can gain a number of temporary hit points equal to 2d6 plus your Constitution modifier, provided you don't already have temporary hit points. You can use this feature a number of times equal to your Constitution modifier, at a minimum of once. You regain all expended uses when you finish a long rest. So being able to get a small chunk of temporary hit points is often very good, but I don't think it's quite enough here. Sure, it's really easy to get off as your Echo is extremely likely to be destroyed in combat, but a minimum of 2 and a maximum of 17 temp HP a couple of times a day isn't going to turn any heads. For reference, a Twilight Cleric at this very same level is granting a minimum of 16 temp HP to every ally within 30 feet of them every single turn at this level, provided their Twilight Sanctuary is up. Cool ability, but not enough. I would give it a 3 or even a 2 out of 5. Our final subclass ability is Legion 1. At 18th level, you can use a bonus action to create 2 Echoes with your Manifest Echo feature, and these Echoes can coexist. If you try to create a third echo, the previous 2 echoes are destroyed. Anything you can do from one echo's position can be done from the others instead. In addition, when you roll initiative and have no uses of your Unleash Incarnation feature left, you gain 1 use of that feature. Okay, so this ability is pretty darn cool. Being able to threaten opportunity attacks on 3 spaces and originate attacks from them is pretty crazy. And being able to gain a use of Unleash Incarnation on initiative is just icing on the cake. You might be suffering a bit on need of bonus actions if a nasty area of effect spell pops both of your echoes. However, it is a really cool capstone and feels like a mastery of your identifying feature. I give this ability a 5 out of 5. Overall, I really do like this subclass. It's creative, fun, and unique, all while maintaining a fairly solid grip on decent mechanics. I think the more levels that pass by, the more your Echo Knight will be hurting, however, from its martially focused abilities. But that is a problem with most non-spellcaster classes, so I won't hold it against the Echo Knight too much. Though I do wish the scouting ability was better and played with more. And it would have been cool if your Echo got more hit points or even just additional ways to use it. The subclass is going to have difficulty multiclassing with anything that wants to use your bonus action on something else, as you are going to need to summon your Echo a lot. If you are looking for a fairly simple yet mechanically cool class to play, I definitely recommend the Echo Knight. Overall, I give the Echo Knight a 4 out of 5. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments down below. Do you think I ranked it a little bit too high, or do you think it should have been a 5 out of 5 on that scale? Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you on your next short rest. I also wanted to give a super big shout out to those supporting me on Patreon. Those of local hero tier or higher are Robert Allen Klaus III and Painted Sky. Thank you so much.